What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 3 of the Open House Podcast. This is Michael Blanco and my wife, Kayla.
Hello.
Okay. And today we're diving into how we met. So this is kind of this getting to know us more. And so I just have some questions we can talk about how we met, and we can get into that. Our relationship started and what has surprised us the most since then. It's been 11 years. You just celebrated 11 years? No, 2011.
14.
Well, 14. I had 14, but then for some reason I'm like, wait a minute. 14. It wasn't 2014 to 2020. Yeah, it's 2011. So yeah, 14 years, and it just feels like yesterday. Yeah. Main topics today. How did we meet? So I don't know if you want to take it. So do you remember where we met?
Yeah, but I think you should you tell it best.
Okay.
Let's start off with what you saw.
We met at church.
No, we did not meet at church.
Yeah, that's when I first saw you.
Oh, but not technically meet?
Yeah, we didn't technically meet, but
we saw each other at church.
Well, the first time
you
I saw
me,
yeah,
I didn't see you.
Yeah, the first time
I saw you somewhere else.
I saw her, and then she saw me later. But I saw her. I noticed her because at the time our church was still pretty small, and so anytime there was a new person, you would notice. And so I saw her walking across the parking lot. I don't know if she was coming a little late or something, because I used to help out with security, and so yeah, I remember seeing her, and I was like, oh, I've never seen her before. Mm. So that's when I first saw her. Mm-hmm. And how about you? You remember the first time you saw me?
I don't remember which one happened first.
After you woke up from fainting?
Yeah. It was either at Pastor Joe and Macias's house. Remember that he had like some kind of young adult, like not a cookout. It was just like a hangout thing. Remember that? Yeah, young adults. Yeah, and I don't think I didn't meet you there, but I saw. So if you know Michael, seen him in person, he has these flames on his legs, and so we're at this. It was like evening.
Let's talk about tattoos.
You couldn't tattoos. I'm sorry. and so I saw this guy with the flames on his legs, and it caught my eye. But I never saw him from the front. It was from the back. He had shorts on. But I never met him at the gathering. And then another time, I'm not sure which one happened first, at church. Same thing. We have like a hall, there on campus. And once again, there goes that guy. I saw him from the backside again, going into the church, and I was driving by. And I saw, there's the guy with the flames on his the
tattoos on my
on your legs.
On my legs. I'm gonna adjust the camera just a bit over.
And then, but the first actual time was, you want to take it from there?
That we hung out, or that we?
Yeah, because we didn't meet right away.
Yeah, we kind of we're kind of hanging out in a group of people, right? That time?
No, it was at the Berrigans.
Okay, yeah. So our friends.
You guys would get together.
Yeah, I had talked because I befriended her brother before. Me and her.
Thankfully, thank the Lord, my brother was very, very protective. Yeah,
so we were friends already, and so I said, hey, you should tell your sister to come to our little friend barbecue at our mutual friend's house. And so he said, oh yeah, so he was like, oh okay. So that's what happened, is he invited her to the barbecue where a bunch of our friends were hanging out, and he was really smooth in the way he introduced us. He was like, Mike, Kayla, Mike, and he just walked away. Yeah. And we were like, okay.
Everybody giggled.
It was kind of funny. It was kind of awkward, but it was funny.
It was awkward.
But anyways, that's like our formal introduction was at that point. So, yeah. So my first impression was, I was definitely like, okay, she seemed like a nice girl and somebody I wanted to get to know more. So that's why I tried to set that up, to get him to invite her over to our little friend barbecue. What was your first? She wasn't impressed. Her first impression wasn't a good impression, I don't think. She's kind of like, what's up with this guy? Why does he have flames on his legs? Why does he wear big hoop earrings? Because it's early 2000s, that's why.
Yeah, I think my mind wasn't. I was 19. Mike was 21. Mm-hmm. And I just had told, I made up my mind that I was going to just focus on my relationship with the Lord. That was my focus. And I didn't just get out of a relationship. It was like my high school sweetheart. And so that was probably, I don't know, there was some time in between, but I just like, you know what, I just want to focus on being involved in church. And so that wasn't my intention, right? My head wasn't there. And so I was like, okay, this is cool, hanging out with my brother's friends. And he was very involved in worship, the worship team. And so his friends became my friends slowly but surely. Yeah, but I mean, he was funny, and that's, that kind of started the feelings, I guess, over time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember any specific moment where you go, oh, this guy could be my husband? Was there any moment where it was like, or
not that
in the beginning, but at
no.
what point was there? Obviously, there must have been a point where like, oh, this guy could.
Yeah, I mean, it took it.
I guess the fact that you don't feel like that, like you don't feel like, yeah, this guy's definitely not husband material. I think as long as you don't feel like that, I think there's always a chance.
Yeah. No, right. I think there's things that because I was, getting to know you, so there's like little things that, it stood out to me. He enjoyed being around his family, which I wanted, a family kind of guy, right? My family were really close, and so I wanted to be sure that my future mate would be that same kind of person.
Yeah.
You're funny, so that you made things light.
Yeah, I'm pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, there's small little things, but I don't want to mention them because we don't got all the time to be. But
we're a family show here. Okay.
Yeah.
Early relationship surprises. What did you expect marriage to be like, and how was that right or wrong? Like, did you have a way you thought marriage was going to be, and then you're like, yeah, it's pretty much what I thought, or is it like, oh, okay, it's not?
What? For the sake of time, I just want to get too deep. Go ahead. I'll let you go first. I'll see how much you share, and then I'll go off from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I didn't have really any wild expectation about marriage. I grew up in a house where both people worked, and it wasn't anything like a stay-at-home mom situation or stay-at-home dad situation. So yeah, in terms of that, and yeah, I think it's definitely, I don't know. I guess if it's your first time being married and you really don't have an expectation all other than the marriages you've been around, whether it be your mom and dad or close friends who got married before you. But yeah, I didn't have any expectations in terms of like a bad or good. I just was like, I was just gonna let it happen, and I know what I guess I know what I didn't want in a marriage. So I guess you're trying to figure out each other, but yeah, I know, like you don't want to create bad habits or bad traditions, I guess, or roles that you feel stuck in. So I think I wasn't like, oh, so you're going to do this and I'm going to do that because I'm the husband or you're the wife. But those kind of roles developed over time. But I had no expectation like somebody's going to be this person and I'm going to be that person. So I guess if that's an answer. Here's something that's kind of back then versus now. What would you tell your 20-something self? What would your 20-something self think about your life you're living now? Like your 20-something self. Well, you were 19, so you already met me by the time you were 20-something. But
yeah, but we didn't get married until late.
Yeah.
It's
like 10 years later. We dated for like
courting. Yeah. Or staying steady for a long time.
Yeah, about 10 years.
What?
Yeah. No, from the time we met to the time we got married.
We got engaged.
I was 21.
Right. And then we got
married at 30. When I was 30.
No, I got married at 28.
And I was 30.
Yeah. So you proposed on the 7th, I think, like it was like the year 7.
We had we had a long engagement. We had a 2-year engagement. Right?
No.
Yeah, we did.
No. We got you proposed on the 7th year of dating.
Right.
And then we got married on the 8th, right? It took 1 year. It was 1 year to plan.
I thought it was a little over 1 year.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, because I think so, because I specifically proposed to her the day before
Valentine's Day,
and we didn't get married that same year.
No,
it was May of the following year, so it was a year and a half. Yeah, it wasn't a year, so
3 months.
This is part of marriage right here. You have to deal with sometimes, yeah. You just have to kind of sneak that win in there.
You choose your battles.
Yeah. Let's see. What's okay here? Building off that, what's one thing you've learned about being a team?
A team.
A marriage team. She still has to remind me that we're on the same team. Shannon's most arguments. We're on the same team, right? I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
That's right. We're trying to accomplish the same thing
together. We have the same idea. Tell me the question again. I'm sorry.
What's one thing you've learned about being a team?
Tag team.
Tag team.
Tag team situations. When you feel like you want to tap, your teammate sometimes picks up. We know when you can't. When you feel like, oh man, I don't got it in me today. And you tap in, and they come in and take charge, and and it's okay. We can't, as husbands or as dads or moms or wives, you can't do it all.
Yeah.
And you can wear so many hats, and then you really have to use but team up and remind yourself that you're working together to accomplish whatever it is, to get whatever done you gotta do.
Yeah, going back to early relationship, what's one way you're different now than when we first started dating? Do you feel like you're less shy of a person? Do you feel like you're the same person?
I would hope not. Hopefully I'm better now. Evolved a bit.
I think overall you're the same person. You have the same personality. Yeah. You're the same sense of humor. Yeah, I think for the most part, I think for me, I definitely have the same sense of humor. Life's gonna throw you some curveballs. It's gonna be tough sometimes, and I try not to let that dictate my outlook or my attitude. I mean, there's times where you let it get the best of you, and it starts changing who you are for the worse. Maybe you're a little more grouchy. I'm talking about myself. A little more grouchy, or a little more. You start having a dimmer outlook on how life's gonna turn out, because you look at your 20s and now I'm in my 40s, and you're like, oh, well, maybe I'm not gonna, like, the things I accomplished or want to accomplish in life are looking further and further away from me than they are close to me, and sometimes it can feel like, oh no. But then they always see those they pop up sometimes on Instagram about so and so didn't start doing this great work of theirs until they were in their 60s, and so and so, I forget, Michelangelo didn't create the Sistine Chapel until he was in his 70s or 80s, and some of the best people's work weren't until later in life, and 40s definitely not anywhere near 70 or 80. But sometimes you get you start, just like a lot of people, you're on Instagram, you see everybody living their best life. Sometimes you're like, oh wow, am I ever going to get to that point? Whether it be career or family goals and stuff. And it's like, it's not always just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. And just keep on reminding yourself, like, don't let that don't start becoming a Debbie Downer. You always just got to keep optimistic. Yeah, and never give up. Right? Give up on what you're trying to accomplish. Yeah. Like this podcast, for instance, it's been in my head for a long time, and like everybody else in the podcast world, it's like everybody has a podcast, and just because you have something to say doesn't mean everybody wants to hear it. Right. But for those who want to hear it, then here it is. Yeah. Why not? And plus, it's like a therapeutic thing, I think, too, to get your feelings up about things or talk about things you don't necessarily always have the chance to talk about. And then at least you put it out there, and if somebody hears it and goes, oh wow, that's kind of cool or whatever. Mm-hmm. And not everybody's always willing to get in front of the camera and talk about whatever, family stuff or whatever, but I think that's also, and see if we could actually pull it off with filming and all the stuff that we have to put together to get it to even look the way it looks. It's a lot of this is actually our son's game room / bedroom, but mostly game room, and he got upset because I started putting lights up and camera, and he's like, what are you doing in my game room? You're moving into you're taking over. And I was like, we could take it down just easy. So it's a lot of work to get it set up. But I told him, hey, it's something that we should try and do and see if we could pull it off. Mm-hmm. So I think that's part of the battle, is what it takes to get it going, and then obviously get in the front of the camera and talking, which is not, for me, it's second nature. Like, I don't have a big deal. It's not a big deal to me to get in front of the camera and talk. I feel more comfortable actually, because all my ideas that I come up with sound good to me. So if I just say them in front of the camera, it's like, oh yeah, no,
it doesn't come natural to me, and Michael is very natural. But
yeah, I'm not the same person right here in front of this camera as I am in a room of people. I'm more introverted, but I can talk to the camera. But it's in a group setting, it'd be much difficult for me, because I have a lot of things going on in my head, and it's just easy just to talk to the camera.
I feel like the opposite. Once I get to know someone well,
she actually,
once I warm up.
Yeah, you do pretty good in a group setting.
But yeah, I'm not like, hey guys. I mean, behind the camera, I can't bring the same energy. Yeah. So. Yeah. Sorry if I put you to sleep sometimes.
Who, me?
Sure, you and whoever's watching. Them? Yeah, both.
I think they made it. It's only been 20 minutes, and like there's like 3 minutes that you're probably not going to see, that I was just trying to get my notes out of my phone and try to figure out what we're going to do. But hopefully this is probably going to end up being like a 15-minute episode, which is fine. We only had a handful of questions to do about a relationship and how we met and stuff.
I think I need to answer some of your questions though, but that's okay, because you kind of filled in the blanks. But because I was going to let you go. And then
which ones did you want to touch on that? And I filled in.
You said something about the 20s, about what.
What would your 20-somethings think about the life you're living right now? Your 20-something self think about the life you're living right now.
Oh, okay. Would you? I was getting it wrong in my head. Okay.
It's hard to say, because when you have kids, I think regardless of your situation, you wouldn't trade any situation, and you wouldn't want to say, oh yeah, my 20-something would be disappointed. It's like, you have great kids. You're like, it doesn't matter. You have great kids. I think at the end of the day, that's kind of what you strive for, is when you want to start a family, is have good kids, and leave your legacy through your kids.
Yeah.
And if you feel like your kids are heading on the right track, you're never going to know if they arrive, because, we're not going to, hopefully we set them up in the right path, which I feel we are trying to set them up in the right path. But I think my 20-year-old self would be honestly, I think my 20-year-old self would be, I was like, I didn't know anything about kids. Like, I wasn't around a lot of little kids when I was younger.
I mean, you had so Mike has he's the baby. He has 3 older siblings. Your brother had kids.
Yeah, but I wasn't around them a lot when I was younger.
No, I guess not. Yeah, they weren't always around.
Like, I didn't grow up with younger brothers and sisters, is what I'm saying. So I didn't know what to expect. With kids.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Versus people they're the oldest sibling, they grew up around younger siblings. Me, I was the youngest, so to be around young kids. Yeah. So it was like,
but you always done well. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I've noticed from you. You've always been well around kids. You felt you were comfortable around them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think my younger self would be pretty impressed how I've handled being a dad. Like, because I didn't think I would. I mean, I think as I knew he was coming, I think I'm gonna enjoy certain parts. Like, I've enjoyed more parts of the early ages than I thought I would. I thought, I'll just kind of be around when he's young, but when he's into sports like he is now, and football and stuff, 7 or 8, I'll be there. But I actually enjoyed 1, 2, 3. We watch videos all the time about him being 3 and 4 years old. I'm like, oh man, like I did enjoy all those early years, as well. It wasn't just I was waiting for him to finally be able to get into stuff I liked. I enjoyed all the early years too, so I didn't know that was gonna be a thing.
You're a good dad. You're pretty sweet. You did a good job.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And you're not too bad yourself.
Thanks.
You're great. Okay. Yep. Cool.
All
right. So, this was fun. Kind of thinking back about all those situations. We do that a lot, though. We always think about when we first met and talk about it with other people. Sometimes it's not something we have to try to think about, like we don't remember.
It felt like, it doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but it has.
Yeah, it's been time flies. Do you have a crazy or funny how you met story? Do you guys out there in YouTube land, or wherever you're consuming this information, have a good story how you met? Why don't you drop it down there in the comments?
Oh yes, please
Write
share.
a little, just do a voice. Don't even have to type anymore. Just speak your story, and I'll just put it out there and let us know.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll read one if we get any comments.
Oh yeah,
about
for the
it.
next one.
We'll just read some comments.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? I was going to mention in the beginning. I forgot to say this. From our first episode, when we're talking about teachers and the ones that
watch our first episode if you happen to catch this one. Now this is going to be a lot better production than our first one. The first one we were just kind of testing out how we wanted to do 2 cameras, 1 camera. Found out pretty fast that we wanted to do 1 camera. It's just easier to edit. But anyways, back going to the first episode about first days of school and stuff. Yeah,
we're talking about school and our teachers that stood out to us. I forgot to mention in first grade, Miss Chavez. I have to mention Miss Chavez, first grade. She was, and I mentioned her because I occasionally like to doodle, to draw, and it's not a hobby that I really explore much. But when I was younger, I was very into artsy stuff, drawing, and Miss Chavez, from that age, I don't know, how old are you in your first grade?
5 or 6.
No, 5.
7.
Yeah, maybe, or no, you're right, about 6.
6.
Yeah. She noticed that, maybe that I had something or I was creative. I don't know, but I remember the museum in Stockton, Hagen Museum. I don't know if this is for like all the kids, if it happened for our whole classroom, but what stuck with me, or what stayed with me, was that she put my art piece
out.
Well, she submitted it to whatever it was they were doing at Hagen Museum. I remember going into the doors.
What was it?
My art piece?
Yeah.
It was like some under the sea type of theme, and I used foil and markers, and it was just it was sweet. I remember what I drew, and I remember going into the front doors, and there was like this huge, like from floor to ceiling almost display, and it was only my art. It was like other students, and I'm not sure what grades, but I remember that happening and going with my family and showing them my piece. I was so excited. I thought, oh my gosh, I made it big. I'm in a museum. But I'm sure it was for like a school. Anyways, Miss Chavez. Yeah.
Shout out Miss Chavez if you're watching.
Yeah, she was pretty cool.
If you're watching, Miss Chavez, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
That's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. So you're about to end it.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah.
Smash that like button. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Joining us again.
Yeah. If you have any questions, maybe you heard the first episode or now you heard the second, you're like, wait, that doesn't make sense, or wait, what did it?
Yeah, I probably said something.
Put them in the comments, and then we'll read the comments and try to answer those questions for you. For all the people who are going to watch. All of you guys. It might be too many to read all the comments, but
might not have time.
We might not have time to go through all of them by the next episode, but we'll try. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.